Hey there, horticulture and advanced horticulture parents. I am Miss Griggs, your horticulture students teacher. In this video, I'm going to go over some important things related to curriculum night and how the year is going to be run while in remote learning. Just to tell you a little bit about myself, this is my fourth year teaching horticulture at Mercer Island. It's my fifth year teaching at Mercer Island. My 13th year teaching. I have three dogs. This one right here, this is Olive. She often will join our Zoom classes because she really likes to be away from my 8-month-old baby and my 7-year-old son and our other two dogs. So she's often found right there. I love horticulture. It has become a passion of mine over the last 3 years of teaching it. I really enjoy the students and teaching them about plants and growing their own food and hands-on science in general. So in this PowerPoint, I'm going to go over some important things like at-home gardening, how we're going to be doing the plant sale this year, and how students earn college credit for my course. So let's get started on that. So this curriculum night video is for horticulture and advanced horticulture. The classes are stacked, which means they run at the same time during the same period. So horticulture, classroom, and greenhouses are at Crest. Crest is just down the hill from the high school. It's about a 5-minute walk from the high school. And the students, if we are in person, they actually get 5 extra minutes to get to Crest. Because of that time to travel between the buildings. At Crest, we have what are called the Crest Essentials, and these are just essentials, or things that we try to instill in our students to make sure that they become good members of society. So we focus on healthy relationships, having fun, work ethic, and grit, which is a big one in horticulture because we do a lot of physical work in the greenhouses and in the gardens, and community. We try and focus a lot on community because that's really the soul of our program. We focus on fellowship. We do things like Crest Giving, Crestentine's Day, which is like our version of Valentine's Day. Typically, we also do something around the holidays, Crestivus, and we do like White Elephant Exchange and things like that. So we try and focus on creating a really strong community, a place where students feel at home. We have our own kitchen at Crest where students are free to make their own food at lunch and things of that nature as long as they clean up after each other. Unfortunately, we don't get to do a lot of that while in remote learning, but when we return to in-person learning, we will definitely be able to work on that community aspect. So one of the big things about horticulture while we are in remote learning is going to be doing our gardening at home or our labs at home. Because obviously we can't be in the greenhouses or in the Crest gardens while in remote learning. I am going to have the students do some things at home. There was a permission slip section that is attached to the syllabus that students and parents need to make sure that they got signed and turned in. I am going to be going over the some specifics about at-home gardening here in the next few slides. But what you can expect is that over the next few weeks, I haven't set the date exactly, but probably about mid-October, I will be providing your student with a house plant and a small container garden, along with a gardening toolkit that they will be using to do work with and projects around in horticulture. So you and your student can pick up the items at Crest, or if you need to, I can have them delivered to you. Be on the lookout for an email from me in the next few weeks about that pickup. Also, advanced students will be using the Aero Garden Harvest System. This is a hydroponic gardening system that sits right on your kitchen counter. It's not too big. And they will be using that to continue their education on hydroponic agriculture, which is one of the main focuses of advanced horticulture. So when we are doing at-home labs and gardens, it's really important that you as a parent supervise or check in with your students on some certain things. Typically, they'll be completing some things during synchronous time. However, there will be some labs or gardenings that may be completed asynchronously, depending on the activity or whether or not your student was absent. So it might be good for you to check in with your student to make sure that they're watering their plants regularly and that they are taking care of their equipment and things of that nature. Typically, if there is going to be an activity that is completed 100% asynchronously, I will send out recommendations and how to supervise that activity. Some gardening and labs require collection of certain items, and I recommend that you help your students select those items so they don't take anything that's hazardous or of high value. Typically, all of the safety supplies I will provide you. Any PPE will be provided. However, the labs that we are doing, they won't require PPE most likely. If they do, I will provide that PPE, which stands for personal protection equipment, if you didn't know. And then also disposal, most things are going to be able to go into your municipal garbage or down your sink. If there's any special instructions, I will let you know. In terms of location selection, this class can be very messy, especially since we're working with dirt and plants and water and soil. So whenever we're doing things, I recommend that you pick a location that is okay to get messy or easy to clean up. Typically some outdoor space or in your kitchen is going to be your most likely spot. Again, I will email you or notify you with any recommendations. So horticulture is a gardening class. We learn all about gardening. We learn about plant science and things of that nature. And we spend a lot of time outdoors. So especially when the weather is good. Ideally, I would like students to be outside during class if the weather is permissible and they're able to get Wi-Fi and still be on the Zoom call while outside. But that's okay if they can't. I will be providing small plants and garden containers for students to work with and do projects around at home. So you may need to help your students select a location as to where to keep their garden or where to keep their house plant. I will give recommendations in terms of lighting and water and all of that prior to them getting their plants and their garden spaces. Labs and supplies will be provided by me 100%. If you don't want to purchase or not purchase, you don't have to purchase them. If you don't want to pick them up and you want to use your own supplies, that's fine. Just let me know. And then if you don't feel comfortable allowing your students to do any labs or at-home gardening, you just need to let me know so that I can provide them with an alternative learning activity that exemplifies the same skills that we're trying to get at with the at-home gardening. So typically each year in the spring, we focus on our plant sale. And currently, because of the COVID-19 pandemic, we are unsure as to what our 2021 horticulture annual plant sale will look like. Fingers crossed that we are able to be back in person learning by January so that we can really do our annual plant sale safely. But typically, each student will produce and be responsible for a minimum of one crop to sell at our annual plant sale. And then also students will have to post 2 to 5 flyers around the community prior to the plant sale. Students will also be required to work one of the 3 plant sales at a minimum of 2 hours. And students will help customers find plants, load plants into the vehicles, and help with checking out customers. Advanced students will have the additional responsibility of raising 2 tomato crops, and they will have to attend at least 2 plant sales. We really encourage parents to volunteer and help out at our plant sales. It's usually a good time. Because of the COVID-19 pandemic, I'm not too sure how the plant sale will run if we are running it this year, but be on the lookout for emails and updates about that in the future. One of the more important things that you need to be on the lookout for in the spring is an email from me related to how your student can claim their college credit for my course. The horticulture class earns 5 college credit hours at Edmonds Community College, as long as they earn a B+ or better, which I work really hard with my students to make sure they maintain that B+ or better. And they can transfer those college credits anywhere they want to, any 2-year program, vocational program, or even 4-year colleges. The horticulture program is a career and college readiness program, and we have a focus on career exploration. I encourage my students to attend the Beyond High School Night in the fall and in the spring. We complete a career research project where they find agriculture related careers and learn all about them. I also link each unit to specific careers, and we discuss how each unit is related to different careers. Like we're currently in safety, so we're learning about like horticulture safety managers and horticulture safety consultants. I also focus a lot on vocational education and try and provide students with alternative options to the 4-year college path, just so that they know that there are other options than the 4-year college. If you need to get a hold of me, you can email me at kimberly.griggs@mercerislandschools.org. That's the best way to communicate with me. If you want to chat on the phone or text, you can text me or call me at my Google phone number, which is 425-270-7320. Generally, I will answer within 24 hours, but no more than 48 hours. I am looking forward to having a really good year with your horticulture students. I am positive and hopeful that we will be back in person so that we can do some more hands-on learning and really explore the world of plants. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me. Thanks.